is on bilirubin. But before I continue my discussion, there is an erratum, slide 185. So you can also check this one on your note. Again, part of the tumor markers. So for treated for prostate cancer, after 2 years, PSA level is elevated. A while ago, nakalagay po dyan is pancreatic cancer. So correction po, dapat recurrence of prostate cancer. Recurrence of prostate cancer. Okay, and again, there are other conditions wherein elevated po ang PSA, such as in the case nga po of benign prostatic hyperplasia, prostatic infection, and perineal trauma. Okay, so let's now move on bilirubin. Okay, so for heme derivatives and bilirubin, so there are questions here which I think part po ng hematology, pero nakita ko po itong questions po na ito sa BOC under ng clinical chemistry. So I included it here, but this one is more of hematology. Okay, pasadahan lang din po natin. Hemoglobin S can be separated from hemoglobin D by, so we can separate them by letter A, that should be electrophoresis on a different medium and acidic pH. Okay, so for example here, we have here your cellulose acetate and your citrate agar. So we have an alkaline pH of 8.6 for cellulose acetate, while an acidic pH here in a different medium, we have your citrate agar at pH 6.2. So mag-iba po yung arrangement po ng mga hemoglobins or yung order of migration nila using the different medium and a different pH. So for kaso po ito po ay hindi complete. So, complete dadagan po natin siya, no? Dito po sa cellulose acetate, pH 8.6, start muna po tayo dito sa may cathodial portion. Aside po sa A2 at saka C, pa-add po ako dyan ng E at saka O. So, A2, C, E, and O, hemoglobin E, hemoglobin O. And then, here, we have S, pa-add po ako ng D, hemoglobin D, at saka G. So, S, D, G, G. And then, ito ay F, and then we have your A1. Okay? Dito naman po sa ating citrate agar at a different medium nga po, and then different pH, acidic pH of 6.2. So again, let's start here sa may cathode part. So we have F, and then we have A, A2, then pa-add din po ako ng E. So we have your hemoglobin E, and then we have your S, and then we also have here, actually before pa yung S dito, there is the O, D, and G. So before yung S, we have O, D, and G. Okay, and then we have your hemoglobin C. Okay, so again, we have here sa cellulose acetate A2, C, E, and O, S, D, G, F, and then A or A1. Then dito naman, we have your F, we have A, A2, and E. We have, before yung S dito, meron po pwedeng isa pa dito. We have your O, D, at saka G. O, D, and G. And then we have the S and C. No? So basically, ang tanong po dito is, how can we separate nga po hemoglobin S from hemoglobin D? Kasi using cellulose acetate, S and D is here, no? Found here. Okay, S, D, and G. So, para ma-separate daw natin yung S at saka D, we should letter A, electrophoresis on a different medium and acidic pH. Kasi when you check here, yung ODG ay nandito, and then ang S nakahiwalay na siya. Okay? So, we can now separate S, hemoglobin S, from hemoglobin D. Okay, next po tayo, hemoglobin S, so similar question lang din po, can be separated from hemoglobin D by which of the following methods we have. So ito na yung name po talaga ng medium natin, citrate agar, electrophoresis at pH of 5.9. No? So we have letter A. So we have letter A. Okay, clear po yun, no? So, a different medium and acidic pH of 5.9. Okay, on electrophoresis, at alkaline pH, which of the following is the slowest migrating hemoglobin, no? Hemoglobin A, hemoglobin S, hemoglobin C, or hemoglobin F, no? So, alkaline pH, that is under cellulose acetate at pH of 8.6. Balikan po ulit natin doon, no? Kanina, ating choices, is it hemoglobin A, hemoglobin S, hemoglobin C, or hemoglobin F, no? So, ang A, ito siya. Okay? Si S, nandito siya. Si C, nandito siya. At si F, nandito siya, no? So, among the four, sino daw po yung slowest migrating, no? So, yung slowest migrating, sabihin yung most cathodal, no? It remains in the origin. So, we have here your hemoglobin C. Okay? So, babalikan natin doon. Ano po sagot dito? We have letter C, hemoglobin C. Okay, again, ito naman po, the hemoglobin that is resistant to alkali denaturation. Alam niyo po yan, we have your fetal hemoglobin, we have letter D, hemoglobin F, resistant to alkali denaturation. Okay, punta na po tayo, no, sa clinical chemistry part po. So, a breakdown product of hemoglobin is, so we have, of course, we have letter B, bilirubin, no, bilirubin. Okay, so as you can see here, review po ulit natin, no, yung pathway of bilirubin metabolism. Okay, so we have here, so it starts with the red cell here. So as the red cell undergoes extravascular hemolysis, particularly in the spleen, so we have the hemoglobin will be released. And then the hemoglobin, as we know, consists of the heme part with the iron and the globin part. Pero yung globin part po dito will just be stored in the protein pools, no? In the amino acid pool, no? Kasi ang globins are proteins, no? So babalik lang din siya sa mga amino acid pool. And then, for the iron naman po dito, it will be stored, no, in the liver in the form of ferritin. While for the heme dito, so the heme portion here contains the protoporphyrin 9, no? And it will be oxidized, no, through your heme oxygenase, and it will form your biliverdin. And then the biliverdin will be reduced by biliverdin reductase to form your, ito na, your unconjugated bilirubin. No? So your B1 or unconjugated bilirubin is water insoluble. No? So kailangan po niya ng transporter o ng carrier. So this one will be transported by your albumin papunta po dun sa liver. And then in the liver, it will be taken up by your hepatocytes using the enzyme uridine diphosphate glucuronil transferase or UDPGT or uridine diphosphate glucuronil transferase. It will be conjugated to form your conjugated bilirubin, your bilirubin diglucuronide, no? Or your conjugated bilirubin. And then it will be incorporated now to the bile, yung B2, and then it will move to the intestine. In the intestine, meron po siyang presence ng mga intestinal bacteria which will reduce your conjugated bilirubin para maging urobilinogen. Ayan po, conjugated bilirubin in the intestine will be reduced by the bacteria to form your urobilinogen. So, urobilinogen po, will be reabsorbed, no, in the portal circulation, back to the liver, no, in the blood, no, papunta po sa kidney. Kaya normally po meron talagang small amount ng urobilinogen sa urine, no. Normal yung small amount ng urobilinogen sa urine. And then going back here, the urobilinogen will then be oxidized to form your urobilin or stercobilin, which will impart now the yellow color or yellow, orange, or dark yellow color in the urine, as well as the color in the stool. Okay? So again, yan po yung ating pathway, no? Bilirubin pathway. Okay, so urobilinogen is formed in the intestine. Tama? So sa intestine po, the urobilinogen is reduced by the the conjugated bilirubin is reduced by the intestinal bacteria to form your urobilinogen. In the liver, bilirubin is converted to. So, in the liver nga po, there's the enzyme uridine diphosphate glucuronil transferase sa ating mga hepatocytes or liver cells. And then, they will conjugate nga po yung bilirubin to your bilirubin diglucuronide. No? So, correction po natin dito, it should be bilirubin diglucuronide. So, for the spelling, or your conjugated bilirubin. No? So, we have letter D, bilirubin diglucuronide. Okay, what substance gives feces its normal color? We have your urobilin or stercobilin, letter C. For the determination of bilirubin, so let's now move to the different methods. No? For the determination, again, tandaan po natin ulit yung reference values for bilirubin, di ba? Kanina, sa unang-unang slide natin, kung ating babalikan, for the total bili, the reference value is 0.2 to 1 milligrams per deciliter. And total bili is composed of your B1 and B2. So B1 is your unconjugated bilirubin. The reference value is 0.2 to 0.8. While for the B2 conjugated bilirubin, the reference value is 0 to 0.2. Okay? So in total nga po, 0.2 to 1 milligrams per deciliter. And syempre, increase in amount, no? Sa case of hyperbilirubinemia, that can result na po to jaundice kapag ang value ay reaches 5 milligrams per deciliter, and a high amount of bilirubin, particularly of B1, can cause kernicterus. Okay? Okay. Next, let's now move to the different methods, no, that we are employing, no, in the measurement of your bilirubin. Okay, so in particular, this one shows your Vandenberg reaction, or basically the diazotization of your bilirubin to produce the purple azobilirubin. So for the determination of bilirubin, the reagent that is reacted with bilirubin to form your purple azobilirubin is your letter D, diazotized sulfanilic acid. Tama? Your diazotized sulfanilic acid. So basically, ano ulit yun? Bilirubin plus diazotized sulfanilic acid to produce equals purple azobilirubin. Okay? So for the measurement or determination of your bilirubin, the reagent is diazotized sulfanilic acid. Okay, for the determination of serum bilirubin concentration, quantitation is obtained by measuring, again, going back to the question nga po kanina, di ba? The product is your purple azobilirubin. So we are measuring the azobilirubin. So bilirubin plus diazotized sulfanilic acid to produce your azobilirubin. Okay? The principle of the tablet test for bilirubin in urine or feces is, so the tablet test here is called ICTO test, kung recall po natin sa ating clinical microscopy, no? And ICTO test is a confirmatory test, no, for the result of the reagent strip for the measurement of bilirubin. So it is more sensitive and specific than your urine dipstick, no? And the principle is quite similar pa rin naman po, no? For your bilirubin measurement in the blood, no, wherein the reaction will be bilirubin reacting with diazotized sulfanilic acid or your diazonium salt to form your purple azobilirubin. So we have letter D. Okay? Next po tayo, before unconjugated bilirubin can react with Ehrlich diazo reagent, okay, diazo or your diazotized sulfanilic acid, which of the following must be added, no? In the reaction po kasi, no, while your conjugated bilirubin will easily react, no, dun sa ating test, no, wherein it can easily react nga po with diacetyl-sulfonilic acid to produce azobilirubin. Yung mga unconjugated bilirubin, kailangan pa po niya ng accelerator for them to be measured. No? And two methods will have different accelerator to use. For Evelyn and Malloy, we are using methanol, while for Jandrasic and Groff, we are using caffeine sodium benzoate. And between the two, the candidate reference method and the more sensitive and widely used one is your Jandrasic and Groff that uses nga po caffeine sodium benzoate as an accelerator for us to measure the unconjugated bilirubin. So we have letter D, caffeine. So caffeine or caffeine sodium benzoate is used to accelerate the reaction of your unconjugated bilirubin to the diazo reagent to produce the azobilirubin. In bilirubin determinations, the purpose of adding a concentrated caffeine solution, again that is for Jandrasic and Groff, or methyl alcohol, that's for Evelyn Malloy, or methanol, is to again, letter A, no, allow the indirect bilirubin to react with the color reagent. Kasi yan nga po ay accelerator, no, to accelerate, no, yung reaction ng indirect bili with your sulfonilic acid or diazo reagent to produce your azobilirubin. The most widely used method for measurement are those based on, so we have letter D, Jandrasic-Groff method, okay, as what we keep on mentioning. No? Jandrasic-Groff, aside from containing the accelerator caffeine sodium benzoate, meron din po yung content na alkaline tartrate, which is important to provide alkalinity. We have ascorbic acid, which terminates the excess reaction by terminating nga po yung mga excess na diazo reagent. Yung Jaffe po, again, as what we can recall, as what we discussed in NPNs, is part of creatinine analysis, yung ating alkaline peak rate to produce the red-orange tautomer. Yung Shields and Shields method naman po is the classic chloride method or determination, while 8-hydroxyquinoline method, ito po ay ginagamit for the measurement of calcium for us to remove yung mga interferences, in particular magnesium. So 8-hydroxyquinoline remove magnesium, which can serve as interference for calcium measurement. Okay? But for bilirubin measurement here, the candidate reference method and the most widely used method is your Jandrasic and Groff method. Okay? In the Jandrasic-Groff reaction, for total bilirubin, alkaline tartrate is added to. So, alkaline tartrate po is added to letter B, eliminate many spectrophotometric interferences. Kasi po, ang ginagawa ni alkaline tartrate nga, it provides alkalinity, as what I've mentioned, no? And as it provides nga po alkalinity, yung azobilirubin po dito will be converted from a reddish purple to a bluish purple color. And that bluish purple color will now be absorbed at a different wavelength. Kasi reddish purple, nakaset po yun at 450 nanometer, while for bluish purple or bluish chromogen, it will be absorbed at 600 nanometer. Yung 450 po is similar to the absorbance of your hemoglobin and other interfering substances. Pero kapag nasa 600 nanometer po yun, it is away from the interferences such as hemoglobin. So, mas maganda yung measurement kapag Jandrasic and Groff at 600 nanometer. And that is because nga po of alkaline tartrate that raises the pH and converts the azobilirubin from reddish purple to bluish chromogen or bluish purple color, which change nga po its absorbance from 450 to 600 nanometer away from the absorbance of hemoglobin and other interfering substances. So basically, it will, letter B, eliminate many spectrophotometric interferences. Okay, Next po tayo. 10 heparinized plasma samples were assayed for bilirubin by Gendrasik Groff method on analyzer 1 and by the Evelyn Malloy method on analyzer 2 in a method comparison study. The results were all 10 to 20% higher from analyzer 2, most likely because. So, bakit daw po sa Evelyn and Malloy method, it is 10 to 20% higher as compared to your Gendrasik Groff method? Because, letter C, alcohol reagents in the second method cause precipitation of proteins and increase background turbidity. Because remember, for Evelyn and Malloy, our accelerator is methanol. And this alcohol reagents can cause precipitation of proteins which can cause nga po turbidity. And turbidity can affect the spectro measurement. Magkakaroon tayo ng false increase in the spectro measurement. Kaya po lumabas dyan 10 to 20% higher. Okay? So that's for Evelyn and Malloy method interferences in the bilirubin methods. Letter C. Okay, if the total bilirubin is 3.1 milligrams per deciliter and the conjugated bilirubin is 2.0, the unconjugated bilirubin is, so again, looking at the value, mataas na po yan, no? Kasi ang total bili hanggang 1, no? 0.2 to 1. Tapos ang conjugated bilirubin is 0 to 0.2. Okay? Pero yung dito, nasa mataas na yung level, no? Yung unconjugated bilirubin naman po, so again, subtract lang po natin, madali lang, no? So, 3.1 minus 2, we have your 1.1. So, we have letter B, 1.1 milligrams per deciliter because basically, total bili is equal to direct plus indirect bili. So, indirect bili is total bili minus your direct bili. Okay? Para makuha natin. Parang sa protein lang din, no? We have your total protein is equal to albumin plus globulin. So for us to measure nga po or to obtain the globulin amount, then we are subtracting albumin from your total protein, no? For us to obtain your globulin measurement. Okay. The following bilirubin results are obtained on a patient. Okay, so again, para po sa ASCP, no, you expect na ganito nga po yung mga type ng questions nila or minsan mas complex pa, no? Pero again, kapag binasa naman, naintindihan mabuti, makukuha naman po yung tamang sagot, no? Ito po madali lang, no? So given that the controls were within range each day, what is the probable explanation for the result on day 4? So ibig sabihin within range naman yung controls, so wala tayong problema sa quality control, no? Pero pagdating sa day 4, bakit biglang bumaba, no? Kasi pansinin natin the level is 4, 4, 4.5, 4.6, 4.3, 4.4, 4.5, and then for day 4, biglang naging 2.2 milligrams per deciliter. Ano kaya yung possible na reason considering that the test here is for bilirubin? And remember, bilirubin is very sensitive nga po to light. Tama? So we have letter C. Specimen had prolonged exposure to light. Okay? Because exposure to light, no, will cause nga po oxidation of your bilirubin and it will decrease, no, at a rate of 30 to 50% per hour. Okay? So yung ating pong bilirubin measurement. So, dapat pa bawal ma-expose sa light. Another question, serial bilirubin determination performed by Gendrasik Groff method are charted below. The best explanation for the result is okay, so kung mapapansin po natin, yung day 1 saka day 3, the result is parallel naman, no, or comparable, so 14, 15, no. Pero yung pagdating sa day 2 biglang bumaba, no, nag-drop bigla yung result, no, to 9, no, which is hindi nga tumutugma dun sa day 1 at saka day 3. Okay, so the best explanation for the result is we have letter B, sample on day 2 has exposure to light. Okay, so sample on day 2 has exposure to light. Okay, kernicterus is an abnormal accumulation of bilirubin. So in case nga po of bilirubin, particularly in your B1 or your unconjugated bilirubin, can cause accumulation nga po in the brain tissue. Okay, which can cause kernicterus. Okay, so kernicterus. Okay. So, the first, yung table po sa taas po natin, that is very essential, no? That is comparing pre-hepatic, hepatic from post-hepatic jaundice. Ito po, ito. Okay? So, pre-hepatic, hepatic, and post-hepatic jaundice. So, the pre-hepatic, example po niyan is hemolytic anemia. Sa hepatic naman, we have your liver diseases, hepatitis, Ray's syndrome, sa hepatic condition. Sa case naman po ng post-hepatic, we have biliary obstruction. So, tatlo po na yan, because these are all types of jaundice, mataas nga po ang bilirubin. For pre-hepatic po, ang mataas po dyan ay B1. Sa hepatic, B1 and B2, it's variable, no? Sa case naman po ng post-hepatic, mataas po dyan ang B2. And remember, ano ba yung difference ng B1 sa B2? B1, or your unconjugated bilirubin, is water insoluble, while B2 is water soluble, no? So, sa urine, hindi pwede makikita doon si B1 because B1 is water insoluble. So, negative po yan sa urine bilirubin. While kapag post-hepatic po, mataas nga po ang B2 and B2 is water soluble. So, it can be present now in the urine. So, positive or increase ang amount ng bilirubin sa urine in case nga po of post-hepatic jaundice. While sa case naman po ng urobilinogen, sa case po ng pre-hepatic, mataas po ang level ng urobilinogen because B1 will be converted to B2 and B2 will be reduced by the cell bacteria to become urobilinogen. So, increase ang urobilinogen. While sa case naman po ng post-hepatic, no, we expect po talaga na decrease yan. No? Decrease or absent po dapat ang level ng urobilinogen sa urine. In case nga po of post-hepatic kasi nagkaroon na ng obstruction eh. So, nung nagkaroon na ng obstruction, this bilirubin or your conjugated bilirubin is no longer reduced by the intestinal bacteria to form your urobilinogen. So, dapat po talaga decrease or absent. Pero nakalagay po dyan, /normal. No? /normal po nakalagay dyan because in some questions, ang sinasabi nila is normal urobilinogen. Bakit po? Kasi yung result, yung reagent strip po, for urobilinogen can't detect negative result. So, dahil it can't detect negative result, since it can't detect negative result, the result can be normal. Pero dapat po talaga decrease or absent. Pero kung nakalagay na normal, then you can consider pa din post-hepatic jaundice. Basta mataas po yung presence ng urine bilirubin. Okay? Sa case naman po ng hepatic condition, mababa po din yung urobilinogen because it affects nga po yung reabsorption in the portal circulation because of a liver disease condition. Okay, pag tinanong po tayo, for example, hemolytic anemia. No? Sa case po ng hemolytic anemia, ano pong mataas? Mataas ang pag pre-hepatic po ito, so mataas po ang B1. So, positive yon sa unconjugated bilirubin. At dahil nga po water insoluble si B1, negative po yan sa urine bilirubin and then increase nga po sa urobilinogen. So, alin po dyan? We have letter C. Tama? Ito po, positive sa B1, negative sa bilirubin, and then increase nga po or positive or increase sa urobilinogen. So, we have letter C. Clear po yun, no? Okay, so again, pakitandaan po ako ng table po na ito comparing pre-hepatic, hepatic to post-hepatic jaundice. In which of the disease states is conjugated bilirubin a major serum component? No? So, mataas po ang B2 or your conjugated bilirubin. So, again, this one is increased in letter A, biliary obstruction. So, for hemolysis, neonatal jaundice, erythroblastosis fetale, mataas po dyan ang B1, no? Or unconjugated bilirubin. For biliary obstruction, mataas po dyan ang B2 or your conjugated bilirubin. Okay? Next po,